They wake before dawn with the weight of invisible chains around their ankles. Chains forged by doubt, habit, and fear. These chains click like prison bars whenever they reach for a dream. They see the sun spilling gold across the horizon, but their minds are clouded with what-ifs and not-yets. This is the silent epidemic of our age. Most people never rise above because their inner obstacles outweigh the world's external ones. They surrender before they start, capitulate at the first hint of resistance, and accept mediocrity as fate. But you, listening to this now, can shatter those chains. It begins by acknowledging the ruthless truth. The barriers that bind you are built from your own mindset. Mindset is the forge where every limitation is cast and every possibility is tempered. Consider Thomas Edison, tinkering through endless midnight hours when colleagues slept. When his investors balked at the mounting costs, he didn't ask permission. He asked, "How can I make it work?" Most people stop asking there, retreating behind excuses forged in comfort. But Edison saw obstacles as raw data, each filament that blackened lending insight rather than defeat. Your mind must follow suit, divorcing "I can't" from your vocabulary and replacing it with the unflinching question, "How?" When rejection emails land in your inbox, they are not verdicts. They are invitations to refine your approach. Belief is the molten core that breathes heat into that mindset. Without belief, ambition is a candle flickering in a hurricane, doomed to snuff out at the first gust. Walt Disney was told his ideas were childish, unrealistic, doomed to failure. He believed so fervently in the power of imagination to unite and uplift that he mortgaged his house, endured bankruptcy, and persevered until laughter exploded across his theme parks. Most people shrink from that level of conviction, tethering their dreams to safe bets. But belief asks for everything: your resources, your reputation, your comfort. When you stake your future on that belief, you tap into reservoirs of creativity and resilience you never knew existed. Clarity transforms belief into a laser-focused path. Without clarity, you wander like a ship without a rudder, subject to every current and wind. Henry Ford didn't dream of inventing any vehicle. He dreamed of putting every working man on wheels. He drew a straight line from that vision to his factory floor, redesigning assembly lines until cars rolled out by the thousands. Most people avoid clarifying their goals because clarity demands accountability. To say, "I will earn 6 figures," "I will write that novel," or "I will build that company," is to stake your honor on outcomes. But that very accountability ignites action. Write your goal where you see it daily, on a sticky note, a phone wallpaper, a bathroom mirror, and let it demand your focus before the world demands your distraction. Vision expands clarity into something grander than your current reality. It is the panoramic mural that draws you forward. Abraham Lincoln looked at a divided nation and envisioned a union reborn in liberty. When newspapers mocked his appearance, when war's death toll climbed, his vision did not waver. It pulsed brighter. Most people shy away from such immense conceptions, thinking only in bite-sized comfort zones. Yet vision need not be epic at first. Let it grow. Picture the community you will touch, the innovation you will unleash, the life you will craft. Let that image play in your mind's theater with surround sound intensity, so that each mundane task becomes rehearsal for its arrival. Purpose is the heartbeat beneath vision, the rhythm that sustains momentum when fatigue gnaws at your bones. Humans can endure pain, disappointment, failure, but without purpose, they endure it in vain. Jim Rohn taught that for any plan to endure, it must be anchored in deep why. Maybe your why is to liberate your family from financial desperation, or to pioneer solutions for climate change, or to prove to a younger you that limitation was a lie. When you act from purpose, even setbacks feel like part of the narrative, not derailments. After every late-night grind session, remind yourself why you chose this fierce path: to create, to uplift, to leave a mark that outlives your days. Discipline is the bridge between purpose and reality. It is the unglamorous daily routine that most people abandon when the novelty fades. With discipline, you show up before dawn to journal your progress, meditate on your mission, and plan your hours. You choose protein over pastries when your taste buds beg otherwise. You invest in skill building rather than binging escapism. Andrew Carnegie rose from factory floor to steel magnate by outworking and outlearning every rival. Most people let discipline erode under pressure, mistaking hardship for a signal to rest. But discipline is not optional. It is the only path from promise to permanence. Action is the pulse in the body of every dream. A dream without action is a ghost haunting an empty house, visible only in imagination, powerless in reality. Walt Disney could dream for decades, but he built Disneyland only when he raised the first dollar, drew the first blueprint, and broke the first ground. Every monumental achievement is a mosaic of 1,000 tiny actions, the calls made, the drafts written, the doors knocked. Most people give up after one stall, an email unanswered, a pitch rejected, a prototype failing. Yet action compounded across time yields unstoppable momentum. You must ask yourself, what one move can I make right now that moves my conversation with destiny forward? Gratitude is the light that reveals progress hidden beneath the weight of ambition. When your eyes fixate on a mountain summit, you forget the foothold you already claimed. Every morning, list 3 things you achieved yesterday, however minute. A prospect reached, a lesson learned, a fitness milestone met. Feel that warmth in your chest. Gratitude is not fluff. It is the engine oil preventing cynicism and burnout. It reframes rejection as feedback, scarcity as potential, and struggle as tuition for your next breakthrough. Adaptability is the craftsman's skill of reshaping plans when markets shift and times change. No legacy rose without pivoting from its original design. Ford transitioned from gasoline-powered carts to tractors when he saw families struggling to farm. Disney evolved from cartoons to films, theme parks to television, streaming to interactive experiences. Most people cling to their first blueprint, fearing change as failure. But adaptability is not dishonor. It is intelligence, the humility to test new approaches, to let go of what no longer works, and to press forward with fresh tactics. Resilience is the backbone that bends without breaking. Lincoln lost 2 sons, battled depression, and guided a nation through its darkest hours. He did not crumble. He adapted his leadership, found new allies, and persevered. Oprah Winfrey endured poverty, discrimination, and personal trauma, yet built an empire of influence and compassion. Most people crack under pressure, letting defeat define them, but resilience is practiced in every setback. You rise, analyze the fracture, reinforce your strategy, and march on. Each rebound bolsters your confidence, for you learn that you cannot be destroyed, only refined. Learning is the compass guiding every thrust of action. Formal credentials open doors, but self-education invents new ones. Jim Rohn declared that your income is often determined by your self-education. Consume biographies of Edison, study the negotiation tactics of Carnegie, analyze Disney's creative pivot points, absorb Lincoln's letters of resolve, then apply one insight immediately. Tweak your pitch, refine your routine, approach a problem from a new angle. Learning keeps your blades sharp, your tactics nimble, your vision fresh. Without it, you stagnate, becoming a shadow of potential greatness. As the sun climbs higher, feel the synergy of these truths infuse your day. Mindset, unchained. Belief, molten. Clarity, focused. Vision, panoramic. Purpose, beating. Discipline, unbreakable. Action, relentless. Gratitude, illuminating. Adaptability, precise. Resilience, unbendable. Learning, insatiable. You stand not as a prisoner of past limits, but as the master of a boundless future. The only thing holding you back is the silent agreement you make with mediocrity every time you choose comfort over growth. As the sun climbs higher, feel the synergy of these truths infuse your day. Mindset unchained, belief molten, clarity focused, vision panoramic, purpose beating, discipline unbreakable, action relentless, gratitude illuminating, adaptability precise, resilience unbendable, learning insatiable. You stand not as a prisoner of past limits, but as the master of a boundless future. The only thing holding you back is the silent agreement you make with mediocrity every time you choose comfort over growth. Tonight, when you look back on your hours, you will see the tracks you laid toward elevation or attrition. you will recognize that most people never rise above, not because opportunity is scarce, but because they are unwilling to wage the internal war required for greatness. But you, bearing the torch of these principles, march forward. You shatter the bars of doubt, rebuild them as scaffolding for an empire of your own making, and climb. The horizon awaits your silhouette. Rise above and let your life become the proof that belief, action, and unwavering discipline can elevate any soul from ordinary to extraordinary.